Hello, my name is Mrs. Pedder and I'm going to do a tutorial for you today on how to use a software called Davinci. Davinci is an editing software which we are going to roll out to use in school shortly. We have already rolled it out for sixth form use, which we use for making short films or music videos, and this is something that you guys can use at home as well for free. So this is a tutorial on how to use Davinci. First thing you need to do is to download Davinci. It is called Davinci Resolve. If you just pop that into Google, it will come up in your first search. And then when you're through onto the website, it will look something like this by Blackmagic Design. And by scrolling down, you'll be able to see that you can download Davinci. When you are downloading the software, as I said, you can get it for free. So in order to get a free version, you are looking at these two here. I have Davinci Resolve 16. It is just an older version of the 17. So if you'd like to download the 17, that is fine. And then obviously you're choosing which option depending on which machine you are working on at home. Okay, so make sure you choose either one of the options on the left hand side to ensure that you have a free version of Davinci. The first screen you will be presented with will look something like this without these additional projects. So the first thing you will need to do is create an untitled project, so new project. I'm going to call this demo. And then this will bring you to your main workspace for editing, which I'm going to explain to you just some basics so that you can get started with editing in Davinci. So the first thing you will need to do is make sure you've got some footage available for you to edit with. For the purpose of this, I'm going to use some of the tutorial footage I've already been collating. And I'm just going to drag and drop this over into my media pool in the top left hand corner. If you get a message like this, it's fine to press change. And now we can see that that clip has now joined into Davinci. There it is, it's loaded up now. Now, in order to edit this clip, you need to use your timeline, which is this space down here. And it's just a case of dragging and dropping that footage onto your timeline. Now, one thing that I like in terms of my setup for using Davinci is making sure that I have a free playhead. So what that means is that this red bar is easier to navigate. Okay, you might find that you prefer a locked playhead, but for me, I prefer a free playhead. So that's potentially one thing to play around with. Now, your main tools within Davinci, the main things you're probably going to want to do is going to be to cut your footage. So if you've got footage in there that you don't want, you'd be using this split clip icon to split your clips and remove anything that is unwanted. So if I hit this button now, that has now split the clip where my playhead was. Okay. So if I now hit that button again, it's now created a completely separate clip that I can then move, or by hitting backspace on my keyboard, I can delete. Continue with the basics. The next skills you are probably most likely to want to use in Davinci are to add transitions or titles. Okay, so we were previously looking at the media pool, which is where our shots are that we've already added into Davinci. If you want to add transitions, you're going to go to the transitions tab, and there are tons of options here for you to choose from. I'm going to choose just a quite simple center wipe. And in order to get that onto your edit, it is just a case of dragging it and dropping it onto your timeline where you've already got a cut between two clips. Okay, so I've just placed that over the top of my clip. It can take a little while sometimes for it to actually load, so it might lag initially on your first play, so I won't play it just yet. But that is how you would add your transitions. So again, you would need an area where you've already split the clips, and then you would drag and drop that transition down. Again, top left of your page, you're going to the titles tab up here. And again, there are tons of different options available to you as to how your title will be displayed on the screen. To use it, again, you are just dragging and dropping that down onto your timeline. And then once you've chosen your clip or your style of text that you would like on your timeline, you need to change screen to the edit screen at the bottom of your page. So now that I'm in my edit page, I can change what text is shown for that title. Okay, so over here on the right hand side where it says the text, you can see it being removed from the preview where I've just deleted it, and then I can add in my new text. Okay, there is no need to do anything with that, that will automatically update. So if you switch back now to your main edit screen, that will have been updated, as you can see there. In Davinci is to add music to your edit. So in order to do that, again, you would need your media pool tab opened within it. And then you would need a track that you can drag over. I have the Circle of Life here from Disney. And it's just a case of dragging and dropping it first into your media pool. And then again, down onto your timeline. Ooh. Wherever you want it to begin playing. Okay, so we can see now that's been added in this green box, which shows the sort of sound levels of that track. Now finally, once you are finished and happy with your edit, you will need to also save as you go along in case Davinci fails at all. You want to make sure that it is saved continually as you work. And then once you are finished, you just need to export your project. So this is making sure that it comes out of Davinci and saved as a shareable video file. Okay, so in order to do that, you might have seen I went to File and Export Project. This will save it on the desktop. And then it will usually take a couple of minutes just for that to change into a video file and be saved for you. And there you have it. That is your quick tutorial on how to use Davinci Resolve. Hopefully you've got some footage that you can experiment with, or you can try and get some footage filmed on your phones, or if you've got a camera, and just experiment and play around with editing with Davinci.